Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in Men at Work, a competitive dexterity game. We played this at game night a few nights ago and had a lot of fun with it. It's just kind of a light, short, fun dexterity game with a really nice insert. In fact, today's discussion will talk a little bit more about the components than the mechanisms themselves. The mechanisms are dexterity based. You're stacking some stuff and hoping it doesn't fall down, basically. Um, and like I said, everything's organized. I really like the men in the little hats here. I thought they were glued on at first, but the little hats actually just snap on. They're plastic hats on wooden meeples. The basic idea in this game is that you are looking at two cards, so the back of one card, the front of one card, and using the combination of those two things to put something indicated by one card, often like a worker with a brick on his shoulder, his or her shoulder, and putting it on a certain beam or combination of beams. And if you put them, the beams themselves are also stacked up, and sometimes you're placing the beams themselves. And if you're able to place whatever you end up placing, where part of that component is taller than any of the other components, then you earn a Employee of the Month token. If you get four of these, you win the game. And so first, I want to talk about components. I think the components work really well for what the game is trying to accomplish. They look great. There's kind of an oddity to the different shapes here. So you have these big beams. You have the workers, and the workers are designed to carry stuff, and the stuff they're carrying are bricks and these beams. All this works really well for a nice dexterity challenge. The other element, though, is the win condition, which I like that there's kind of a dual-edged win condition. One is player elimination, which doesn't always work. I would say it rarely actually works, but sometimes it does work well. And in this game, I think in such a short, quick dexterity game, I think it actually works. Basically, each player has a set of 3 safety certificates, and if anything falls off the structure as you're placing on your turn, you lose one of these safety certificates. And if you have none of them, then you're out of the game. So you can win by eliminating all the other players. And you're not really eliminating them, they've eliminated themselves. You can also win, though, if you collect 4 of these Employee of the Month certificates. So if you do that thing that I mentioned of putting a component higher than any other component on the building, on the structure, it's a shared structure, by the way, I didn't mention that, but you're all sharing the same structure, then you can win the game immediately by getting your 4th token here. So I really like this dual edge here of 2 ways to win, by all other players failing or you being really good. And it adds some nice tension to the game. And in our game that we played, we all got down to 1 safety certificate. And so every turn had a huge amount of meaning because you were trying to stay in the game, but at the same time you were also trying to win by getting those Employee of the Month tokens. So yeah, that's Men at Work. Just a short, quick, competitive dexterity game, and I love the components, and I think that that dual-edged victory condition is really nice. I'd love to hear about your favorite dexterity games, particularly, I guess, competitive dexterity games, this category, and what makes a fun competitive dexterity game to you. Thanks.